Should you guys sell your entire Tesla stock and go all in Nvidia? Or sell your entire Nvidia stock and go all in Tesla? Or buy both? Or neither? In today's video, we're going to look at Nvidia stock versus Tesla stock in 2030. Which one is the better long-term hold or investment? And you know what, guys? This video is really special because Nvidia, I've always said Nvidia is the Tesla for its industry. The things that they're doing, the technology they're bringing, it's next level. And they're taking away a lot of market share from their competitors, AMD, Intel. So it's really going to be interesting. I mean, heck, this laptop, this old man laptop, which is like the alien version for HP, runs on Nvidia, GeForce, GTX, and sheesh, man, like the graphics, the processing is amazing. It's fast. I love it. I had this laptop for about 3-4 years now, and man, it has not failed me. I'm really happy about it, and I would definitely buy a computer or a laptop that definitely has Nvidia in it, a Nvidia chip in it, because sheesh, I'm telling you, it's good stuff. All right, so let's get down to the video, but before we do, if you guys want to support this channel, there's a few ways that you guys can. You guys can now support the channel by joining a membership. That means you guys will get access to cool perks, cool emojis, and other exclusive perks. And you know what? I'm thinking to throw a Discord group in there as well. I haven't made one yet, but I'm thinking about it. Let me know if you guys will be down for a Discord. Comment down below. I'm curious to know if you guys be down. Sheesh. And obviously, I can't forget to mention that now there's merch. Go All In merch. The Go All In poster you guys can get as well on the Teespring store, or you guys can get a t-shirt that says Go All In, like the one I'm wearing right now. Go All In. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of ways to support this channel, and if you do, I love you guys for it. But if you don't, I still love you guys for it because I love making videos, man. I just love making these videos. All right, enough chit-chatting. Let's get down to the video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't already, man. Come on. All right, let's go. So here's a Tesla versus Nvidia stock chart. If you guys have been following for some time, you guys already know, very familiar with this chart. But as you guys can see, for Tesla, it's already filled out because going bit by bit takes a long time. And I don't want this video to be over 30 minutes long or even close to 30 minutes long. So if you guys want step by step, check out this video. But some key points that needs to be pointed out here is, yes, by 2030, I said they will deliver 20 million vehicles. Now, this may happen or may not happen. Most likely, it will not happen by 2030. I'm not bearish, guys. Don't smash me for it, man. I'm going all into Tesla stock, man. You guys already know. But most likely, this will be delayed. Maybe by 2032-ish, it'll be around 20 million, or who knows? Maybe they'll actually hit 20 million or even earlier than that. We don't know. Let's see what happens. But for 2030, I put it as 20 million vehicles delivered with a little bit of FSD. So in this chart, there's only FSD and vehicles. That's it. There's nothing else. No robotaxi, no energy, no Tesla bot, no insurance. If you guys want the full thing until 2030, I mean, the stock price is ridiculous if you add everything in. Check out this video. It's just sheesh. That's it, man. Anywho, putting that all together, for the total revenue, we had almost $800 billion with a 25% net income margin. And as well, if you add the FSD profit margin too, we get over $250 billion. Tesla for 2030 for net income, which is absolutely insane. You guys have also may notice the shares outstanding is growing rather than, decreasing, because let's keep it conservative. I said every single year around 2% they will dilute, even though I think dilution will stop in 2024 when hopefully do a buyback program. But this is assuming that they'll continue to dilute, which won't make sense if they're making this much cash. But let's just keep the way it is. 2% dilution until 2030, which is over 3.8 billion shares outstanding. It's ridiculous. Now, the only thing we gotta figure out is the PE. Now, question is, are you guys ready to figure out the stock price together? Come on, man. If you guys are ready, then that like button should have been smashed. Come on, man. Smash that like button. All right, let's go. So for 2022, I gave it a PE of 90. Now, in my previous video, my Q3 delivery previous video, if you guys haven't checked that out, check it out because that's more bullish than this. But unlike there, here we had 13, almost 14 billion in net income, which is honestly the bear case here, in my opinion. And with that, with a PE of 90, we get a stock price of 377 and a market cap over $1.2 trillion, which is amazing. Right now, the current stock price is 300. That's like what? Almost a 30% increase, 25 to 30% increase from now till year end or the first quarter of 2023, because that's when, Q4 of 2022 comes out. Sheesh, that's actually pretty darn good. Now, let's say, guys, you have 10,000 to invest and you're planning to invest after the Q4 earnings come out when the stock price comes to 377. You're not going to buy now at 300 because you want to see what happens this year. Fair enough. If you guys invested $10,000 into Tesla stock at an average price of $377, that comes down to about 26 and a half shares. Let's say 26 shares. So let's put it in here. $10,000 in 2022 invested. In 2023, however, I gave it a PE of 75, and with that, we get a stock price of $579 per share and a market cap over $1.9 trillion. Your 10K has now grown to 15,000. Like, oh my, like 50, more than 50% increase within a year. What investment gives you that? Like, bro. In 2024, I gave it a PE of 65, and that will give us a stock price of $829 with a market cap of over $2.8 trillion. And now your 10K, which was now 15K, has turned to 21.5K. I mean, again, like almost doubling your money. That's just insane, dude. Like within 2 years, your 10K has now turned to over 21K. Like that's insane. And by the way, guys, in 2024, if the stock price reaches around 800 plus, we most likely will witness another stock split. I'm just saying, we may not, but looking at Tesla's history with their stock split, 800 plus per share, I mean, that's when they seem to initiate a stock split. Check out this stock split video because we dive deep exactly when Tesla will do a stock split, how they will do it as well. So it's really interesting. In 2025, I give a PE of 55 and we get a Tesla stock price over $1,100 per share and a market cap almost hitting $4 trillion. Your 21K has now turned to 29.5K, which is absolutely insane. Within 3 years, you've tripled your money. What guys, come on, tell me, what investment out there will triple your money within 3 years? I mean, 100% that's just insane. Look, it's literally 100% if you look at it that way. That's crazy. In 2026, I gave it a PE of 45 and we get a stock price of $13.08 with a market cap over $4.6 trillion. You've now turned your 29K to 34K, which is not bad. In 2027, I gave it a PE of 40 and that gives a stock price of $15.47 and a market cap over $5.5 trillion. You've now crossed the 40K mark. You've 4x'd your money in 5 years. Sheesh. In 2028, I gave it a PE of 35, which, by the way, I don't think this decade will ever see Tesla trading at a PE of 35. I'm just saying. But with a PE of 35, we get a stock price of $17.35 and a market cap over $6.3 trillion. 40K now has turned to 45K. Not bad. In 2029, I gave it a PE of 30. Again, this is a joke. I know 30 is a joke. But again, we're only putting in the vehicles and a little bit of FSD, nothing else. And we get a stock price of $17.62. And a market cap over $6.5 trillion. You've only gained like $700 between 2028 and 2029. But again, guys, vehicles only, FSD. No Tesla bot, no insurance, no energy, no robotaxi, nothing. In 2030, the last year, I kept it at 30 PE because I just can't go below 30 PE. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Even reaching 35 PE is ridiculous this decade. But with a PE of 30, we get a stock price of $19.76 and a market cap over $7.5 trillion. Your 45K or 46K has now turned to over 51K. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. Your rate of return for Tesla, if you invested in 2022 or end of 2022 with no contribution, no withdrawal, nothing, you just let the money sit there and let the compound interest do its thing, you've more than 5x your money. 514% ROI. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And most of you guys look at me like, this guy's crazy that he's going all in into Tesla stock. Well, let me tell you that when you see this number, when we skip forward to 2030 and this number comes true, if it comes true, no idea if it will, but if it comes true, I'm not so crazy then. Am I now? But anywho, guys, it's only a prediction only. Obviously, things don't work in linear. The stock may crash for a couple years or it'll moon for a couple years. No one knows. But this is on a linear basis and we know that the stock market doesn't really work on a linear basis. Take this prediction with a grain of salt. Now, moving on to Nvidia. Now, Nvidia stock was mooning last year, man. I think they hit about $390 per share in 2021. Like, sheesh, the PE was hitting almost 200 last year. It was absolutely insane. But right now the stock is down literally more than 60%, 65% the stock price is down. It's absolutely insane. If we look at the revenue net income between 2020 and 2022, I know you guys are like, wait a minute, 2022 is not even done yet. Well, Nvidia is one of those stocks that they finished their fiscal year in like October or September. So Yeah, that's how they roll. But if we closely look, just look at the growth on that, man. I mean, the revenue from 10.9 to 26.9. I mean, almost a triple in revenue. And then net income, 2.8 to almost 10 billion. More than a triple. That's absolutely insane. But it seems like this year, 2023, is not looking too good. Looking at simply Wall Street's for 2023, they're gonna finish off over 27 billion, but the net income is gonna crash from 9.8 to 4.6 billion. I mean, that's ouch, man. Like, why? I mean, that's just crazy. Upon doing some research, here's what I found. US put a any chip restrictions, export to China. That impacts the stock. That impacts Nvidia big time. Another big hit is that, well, if you look at this year, this is the first year that we're not living with any corona or lockdowns or anything like that. So more people are out and about, so they're not playing games as much often. As we know, Nvidia is a gaming king. They make gaming for chips, the best gaming chips for games. So a lot of people, when they were locked up in their homes, had nothing to do, they obviously bought a whole bunch of games, bought new, PlayStations, Xboxes, PCs, and they just ran COD or Fortnite or Last of Us or whatever it is all day long because you were locked up, you couldn't really go out. But now it's all changed. Everyone's out and about, they're going places, they're traveling. So obviously that becomes a natural shift in the market as well. But nonetheless, gaming is a booming industry and we'll see it continue to boom for a longer term because, come on, man, it's gaming. It's actually now becoming a sport, so could you imagine? But anywho, simply Wall Street predicted 2024 and 2025, and I add them here as well. So it seems like in 2025, we're gonna do the same thing as what we did this year. I mean, that kind of sucks, but I don't know. Let's see how the stock price will be. But first, we're gonna figure out 2026 or 2030. So obviously, when I looked online, no one looks that far to 2030. I mean, they just look for the next 12 months or latest the next 3 years. That's it. What I did was that I took the sales and profits or the revenue and profits of Nvidia from 2020 all the way to 2024, and here's the percentage that I got. On the average, Nvidia's revenue is going to grow yearly at a 33% rate. And for net profit, it's about 54%, even though from 2022 to 2023, there's a minus 73% decline. We're still getting a 54% increase, which is absolutely incredible. What I did is that for the revenue, for 2026 to 2027, I increased it by 25%. For 2028 to 2029, I increased it by 20%, and by 2030, I increased it by 15%. I believe these are extremely conservative numbers. I think Nvidia can do heck more than this, but keeping it conservative. Now, for the net profit, what I did was I took a different approach, 54% on the average. And Nvidia is a high margin company and they have a lot more room to grow. Like Nvidia, they're just getting started, man. I'm telling you, man, they're just getting started in eating away their competitors' lunch, probably dinner, and probably even breakfast. So in 2026, I said 50% increase. 2027, I said 40% increase. 2028, I said 30%, 2029, 25%, and 2030, 20% increase, giving it a 41 billion net income by 2030. Almost 100 billion in total revenue by 2030. So literally almost 50% of all revenue is going to be profit for Nvidia. Won't believe me? Just gotta wait and see. If we look at the shares outstanding, it seems like when it's good times, they sell stock, but when it's bad times, they buy stock, which is really smart because right now they're doing buybacks. When their stock price was at an all-time high last year, they were doing a lot of selling. So I kept it conservative. Every single year, they're gonna dilute 1%. Which will give us a 2.7 billion shares outstanding by 2030. EPS that follows that as well. And now it's time to figure out the PE, which figures out the stock price. You guys ready? If you guys are ready, why isn't the like button smashed? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go. So in 2022, at the moment, the PE is 35, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But 35 PE will give us a stock price of 137 and a market cap over $341 billion. We're gonna do the same thing with a $10,000 investment, which by the way is right now. If you invest at $10,000 right now, because that's what the stock price is right now, actually a little bit cheaper than that, that comes around to 73 shares. Let's see how this money will grow until 2030 with these estimated prices. In 2023, now this may shock you guys, I put a PE of 90. Now hold on, why did I put a PE of 90? Because what tends to happen to PEs when the earnings go down, the PE goes up because people are paying more of a higher premium to it. So what I could imagine, what I might see what might happen by 2023 is that macro environments will be a whole lot better. I hope. Interest rates will be cut, hopefully. If that happens, this stock is gonna boom big time. Hopefully the war gets better, even though it's getting worse. And overall optimism will be high. If optimism is not high, we'll look at that right now. We have to give it a lower PE, but let us stick with 90. And with a 90 PE, we get a stock price of 165 and a market cap of $417 billion. Your 10K has now turned to over 12K. So a 20% increase, which is pretty darn good. But again, that's only if the market values Nvidia at a 90 PE next year. Let's be more bearish and let's say they may do it 70 PE. With a 70 PE, that's a stock price of 128. I mean, right now the PE is 35. If you want to go ahead and give it a PE of 60 or 50 even, that's a $92 per share. I mean, this could happen. You know, this could happen. This is all a prediction. Nothing is set in stone here. But next year is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be trading around the 80 to 90 PE next year if they start cutting interest rates. If they don't cut interest rates, then I could see averaging around 70, maybe even 65, 50 even. So between $92 per share to 110 if things are the way they are now next year. But if things are more positive, then I could see 90 PE, definitely, easily. But let's put 90 PE here. Let's be more optimistic, right? And stock price of 165 made 20% on your money, which is not bad. In 2024, however, it seems like they're bouncing back very strong. I get a PE of 60 and we get a stock price of 204. And a market cap over $500 billion, which is pretty much trying to catch up back in 2020, 2021. And now your 10K has now almost turned to 15K. So sheesh, that's pretty good. In 2025, not only have they come back, but their earnings have hit record. And I gave it a PE of 55, and that will give us a stock price of 214 and a market cap of 551. And now your 10K has turned to 15.6K. So you made $800 more than the previous year, which is not bad. But if they hit a record earnings, we can see it trading at a higher PE because now, you know, optimism is in the air. So a PE of 60 even could be, you know, reasonable at that time, but keeping it 55 to be conservative. 2026, I gave it a PE of 50, and that will give us a stock price of 289 and a market cap over $751 billion. Your 10K has now turned to over 21K. So it took 4 years to double your money, which is not bad. In 2027, I also left it at 50 PE because if they are growing at a 50-40% year growth year over year, PE is going to be high. People are going to expect high earnings. And with that, we get a stock price of 400, which tops an all-time high for Nvidia. So I mean, that's just crazy. If you gotta wait 6 years or 7 years to, you know, make your money back, if you guys bought at the peak of 2021, if you're holding the bag, you may have to wait about 5-6 years to, you know, at least break even. That is if you're not averaging down. But anywho, $400 per share at a 50 PE, that's over $1 trillion in market cap. So congratulations, Nvidia, $1 trillion by 2027. Sheesh. And now your investment is over 29K. So nice. In 1 year, you've made 9K. So congratulations. That's good stuff. In 2028, I gave it a PE of 45. That will give us a stock price of 464 and a market cap over $1.2 trillion. And now your investment, which is over 29K, is now almost at 34K. Not bad. Now we're getting somewhere. Now Nvidia is going places. In 2029, I gave it a PE of 40, and that will give us a stock price of 510 and a market cap almost at $1.4 trillion. And your total investment, your 34K has now turned to 37K. Not bad again. And in 2030, I gave it a PE of 35. Now again, if Nvidia is growing at this rate at 35 PE, I mean, right now it's at 35 PE because they're doing pretty darn bad and there's a lot of bearish news out there. But if they're growing this fast by 2030, I don't think a 35 PE will exist. It's probably going to be in the mid 40s. But anywho, 35 PE, we get a stock price of $530 per share and a market cap over $1.4 trillion. And look at that. 37K has now turned to almost 39K. So look at that. Your 10K has now turned to almost 39K. You 4x'd your money within a decade. So that's good stuff. That's actually not bad. So the total ROI that you'll get with Nvidia with this prediction is 387%, which is honestly Not bad at all. Now, let's do the comparison. If we look at the comparison, obviously Tesla dwarfs Nvidia. I mean, over 500% growth compared to 387%. And with Nvidia, we have more of solid numbers because we are taking vehicle numbers and FSD, while for Nvidia, we're just looking at, okay, they grow 50%, 40%, 20%. So the accuracy here favors Tesla. But let's be more conservative with Tesla. I get a P of 30 by 2030. Obviously, this is ridiculous. But let's just say that by 2030, they won't deliver 20 million vehicles. Let's reduce it down to 18 million. Let's see how we get. Oh, look at that, 462%. Still more than Nvidia. Let's do 17 million. 437%. Sheesh. Still more than Nvidia. 16 million? My God. Still more than Nvidia. What is this? Okay, 15 million. Come on, 15 million. All right, there we go. So if they deliver 15 million vehicles, 5 million vehicles less than their initial investment by 2030 of 20 million, we get a stock price of 1482 and again, a 385% ROI return for Tesla. I mean, that's still sheesh. And that's why, my friends, I'm going all in into Tesla stock, man. The growth for Tesla is honestly, it's crazy. I don't know how there's bear people out there. It's ridiculous. But again, guys, this is only a prediction and a prediction only. Nothing less and nothing more. And obviously, more research is needed if you guys want to dive into stocks and do some investments. You gotta do your DD. But take this prediction with a grain of salt. All right, at the end of the day, guys, Nvidia and Tesla are a great long-term hold. They're great investments to hold from now till 2030. In my humble opinion, I believe Nvidia is such a better buy right now than Tesla because Nvidia stock has been beaten down so much. I mean, just look at the graph. Like, it's like coming down Mount Everest. You know what I mean? It's absolutely just beaten down while they have a bright future. Their long-term horizon is absolutely phenomenal. You know, Nvidia isn't autonomous driving, even though it's not as good as Tesla's. But anywho, they're working on that. Supercomputers, the best gaming chips. They're, accelerating in chips as well, which is probably the most important piece of technology right now in the world. So they're going places, and not to mention they work with SpaceX, they work with Tesla, so they have good clients as well. So Nvidia is a great stock and a great long-term hold. And again, if I wasn't going all in into Tesla stock, I would definitely have some shares of Nvidia, especially right now. I mean, what is it, 135 bucks per share? The market cap on that is what, like 300 billion? Come on, man. Company like this with high margins coming should be worth more. And that's in my opinion alone. But again, guys, the numbers here are absolutely insane. I mean, you're gonna be 4xing, 5xing your money by 2030 if you hold long enough. But you know what else is crazy, man? Tesla's 2030 stock price prediction, including their FSD, robotaxi, insurance, energy, and Tesla bot. Check it out right here, man. It's absolutely insane. You'll enjoy it and find great value. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.